Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to Poets and Quants' online MBA panel, where an online MBA can take your career. Today, we're joined by program representatives from Texas A&M Mays, Florida Warrington, and Kennesaw State Coles. I'm your host, Christy Blyzeffer of Poets and Quants. Please feel free to use the Q&A function to submit any questions you may have for the panelists, and I'll do my best to get to those toward the end of the session. And let's begin to get to know our esteemed panelists, and I appreciate you all taking the time to join us today. Let's start with an introduction of yourself and your program, and we'll start with Renee, please.
Thank you so much, Christy. It's a pleasure to be here with everyone today and my esteemed colleagues. This is a really great opportunity for us. My name is Renee Borbeau. I'm the Executive Director of MBA programs at Kennesaw State University, Coles College of Business. We are located just north of Atlanta, about 15-20 miles north of Atlanta. We have two campuses, one in Marietta and one in Kennesaw. We are actually the third largest university in the state of Georgia, and we're known for our innovation. We're also known for our real world experience and experiential opportunities that we provide to our students. We have an online MBA program, we have an evening MBA program, and an executive MBA program. Today, I'll just be focusing on online MBA, and this is one of my favorite topics, how an MBA can advance your career. I have an MBA myself, and I can definitely testify here today that it has taken my career to levels that I had never dreamed before. So it's just wonderful. It will open doors, and look forward to talking more about that today.
Thank you so much, Renee. Greg, how about you?
Perfect. Thank you so mumuch. My name is Craig Petrus. I'm the Assistant Dean of Career Services for the Warrington College of Business here at the University of Florida. We have a number of different MBA offerings, full-time program, 1 year, 2 year, and we also have weekend professional MBA programs, executive MBA program. And for our online MBA program, we offer a 1 year online MBA program for business undergrads, business majors. We also offer a 2 year online MBA for those that did not study business as an undergrad. Our online MBA program is currently ranked 6th in the US by US News World Report. And I'm excited to be here and to have this really great career discussion with our colleagues.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And Stephen.
Howdy, y'all. Fantastic to be here. Thank you so much for the ability to participate. My name is Stephen Burton. I'm the Executive Director of the Career Management Center at the Texas A&M Mays Business School. Texas A&M is a public land-grant university well known for its core values of respect, excellence, leadership, loyalty, and selfless service. Broadly known for its focus on agricultural and engineering, and 2024 had an enrollment of about 79,000, so making it one of the largest universities in the world. Mays Business School has about 4,000 plus undergraduates and 1,000 plus specialized in MBA enrollment. From an MBA perspective, we offer our full-time program, our professional program, our executive program, a new program, engineering MBA, and then today we'll focus a lot on the online MBA program, which is a relatively new offering for us, having just enrolled our first cohort a few months back. So excited to be here, and thanks for the opportunity.
Oh, well, congratulations on your first cohort. That is always exciting.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and thank you all for that great information. We're going to dive in to a little bit deeper of the conversation with your careers curriculum. And so, Craig, we'll start with you. Tell us a little bit about, kind of what is involved in that curriculum, who are the coaches and the experts, and do you make available any one-on-one coaching, mentoring, access to jobs boards, that kind of thing?
No, absolutely. And we do make career services open for all of our online MBA students. I feel our value proposition for our career services office, specifically for our graduate business programs and the online program, is all of our coaches come from the private sector. We have over 50 years of work experience spent in the private sector in consulting, human resources, campus recruiting. And that's really brings our instant credibility in the eyes of the students to all of our graduate business students, especially our online MBA students too as well. For our online students, you will have a dedicated MBA career coach that manages your career experience here while on campus. And we also have a menu of services, right? In terms of, we all know that you're getting your MBA for many different reasons, whether it's doing a pivot, to do a job search, or even to get promoted with your own particular company. We will work with you based upon your specific need and career and professional development while in the program. So yes, we do offer, and they can opt in at any time during the program for career services programming and services.
Yeah, absolutely. Stephen, tell us about the career curriculum at Texas.
You bet. So we do have a dedicated career coach that was brought on board as part of the launch of the program. This coach is specifically focused on our online as well as our working professionals. So there's a lot of similarities across those programs from kind of the background of that person. We also have a career advisor, which is a growth path into the coach, which supports that from some kind of early entry points for students coming into it. One of the things that we've done from the beginning in designing this program, I talked about it being our first cohort, is working with the program team and the rest of the school to integrate the careers component into this. And so we have a dedicated career curriculum that is available to the students. And we have at least one synchronous and asynchronous touch point during each semester of their program. Students have access to the same set of resources that all of our MBA students do. And then specific to the job board, it is an earned privilege. So we want our students to be able to access that because we have a range of students. Some of them have just a couple of years experience and some of them have 10, 15 years of experience. And so those that are looking more towards the pivot and more of a traditional MBA kind of exit point, they can, if they go through the certain set of educational and coaching experiences, earn access to that job board and participate in that like any MBA student would at the Mays School.
Yeah, great. So valuable. Renee, how about at Coles?
Thank you. So at Coles, we're actually celebrating our 25th year of our online MBA. We're going to throw a big party with this year. We're at the Braves Stadium, and we're very excited about that. So congratulations, Stephen, on launching, and it's a great ride. And so online MBAs are a wonderful student group, and we are very happy that our online MBAs have, similar to Texas A&M, access to the same career services that all of our on-campus, in-person students do. We have a centralized career center here, and something I think that is pretty unique, we offer a lot of the similar services that have already been mentioned, but something that hasn't been mentioned, all of our MBAs are eligible to attend any career fair that's happening on campus. I think that's pretty unique, and we do have online MBAs kind of at every stage, some with just 2 years and then even up into their 60s. We see, lifelong learners in our programs as well. So we think the access is there. We're very proud about that. We also offer professional development and a career coach. And of course, they can come in and get a free headshot anytime they want. And we're very proud also of the value of our program. An online MBA at KSU, the total cost is around $25K. So we think there's some instant ROI available there for our graduates.
Absolutely. And congratulations for 25 years. That's a great milestone to celebrate.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Well, Steve, we'll go back to you now. We're going to keep up with that, the kind of that wide range of students that you can find in an online MBA, as Renee just mentioned, the people who want to pivot, the people new in their career, the lifelong learners, those who just are looking for a promotion, or even they want to be their own boss. How do you design a program and create a program that kind of helps support this broad range of students?
No, it's a wonderful question. And it's something as we began to look at launching this program, my experience in working with professional students, which I've done for several years now, kind of helped educate and inform how we do that. One of the things that is special and unique, I think, at Mays School is that we have maintained a smaller profile and are very focused on delivering an individualized student approach. So we come to them with where they're at, both from a student services, but especially with careers. Now, where at the online program, you get scale and that becomes more difficult. And so we only know a certain percentage of the students are going to engage on a regular basis. But the addition of a focused career coach for this, supported by a career advisor, enabled by some technology components, began to do that. Touching on what they want on the outcome is looking at that individualized approach. So we look to meet them where they're at and help them understand why they're doing this, what their expected outcomes, and then how to achieve them, and the importance of relationships and the importance of staying true to what their goals were and focusing on the relationships to help get them there. Through those that are more pivoting with access to the job board, and then where we can, connecting them inside the Aggie network, which is 500,000 plus strong, and there's going to be somebody out there that can help them realize that. So hitting them where they're interested with the goals that they have, with the personalized approach, and trying to bring kind of what they're looking for to their particular needs is a way that we approach that really diverse set of wants that come from this group of students.
Yeah. Renee, how about at Kohl's? What do you guys do to kind of, give that support for that range and, guiding people to that next step, whatever it is?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, we do need to learn what their goals are, and also how long it's been since they may have been looking for a new position, because the game has just really changed and it continues to change. But for those who have, not been looking for a new position for 5+ years, they may need support on applicant tracking system, or how to use AI to help with perhaps customize a cover letter, or identify keywords from a job description, and how to get those keywords on, your resume if you have those skills. I mean, we just see it all across the gamut there. So I think we offer the individual coaching to kind of learn where the students are, how long it's been since they have been job seeking. And then also, in addition to the digital component, which is so key now, it really needs to be omni-channel. And we are seeing just a major return to in-person networking as a way to advance careers. Everyone is back in person doing the events, conferences, workshops, and we want to get our students out to those events. So we try to host those on campus. We'll invite our online MBAs to those. If they need, maybe a prep or a refresher before they go, we'll work with them on maybe kind of like a mocktail party or something like that, where so they can refresh their networking skills. But certainly we're seeing that I think front and center these days.
Yeah, absolutely. Craig, how about at Warrington?
Yes, we definitely take the personalized approach to all things career. Certainly, they'll have that dedicated career coach, and they will develop that career development plan for them based upon their goals. Right? Is it the career pivot? Is it the internal promotion? Is that the exit from the military and now going into the private sector? So our coach and coaches will develop your unique career development plan based upon you, but also we have a set of online modules. It's a Canvas career accelerator course that it's a 0 credit. They don't have to take it, but all of these resources are online that they have the ability to take throughout their time in the program. So you'll get that live coaching through appointment. Obviously, a lot of our online MBAs are working during the day, so we do have evening hours in terms of coaching, but also the online modules, again, that they can take at their leisure, at their time, which gives them a whole bunch of support in terms of resume, interviewing skills, job search, marketing plan, etc. We also do offer what's called a career transformation weekend, in which the online students that want to come to campus, we have a whole host of programming starting on Friday through Sunday that that coaches them through all things career and professional development. It's a collaboration between our business career services office as well as our UF MBA program. So we'll have business improv, we'll have workshops on negotiation, we'll have workshops on Clifton strengths and things like that. So it's a really fun, unique weekend when we get the online MBA students to come on campus.
Oh yeah, that I bet you that is a popular event to have a weekend to come together.
Yeah.
Renee, we'll go back to you. Do you guys at Coles have like particular tools and assessments that you use to help students kind of identify the opportunities that are out there for their, what
Yes.
they're looking to do?
Absolutely, and it continues to change. So I've just updated my information this morning as well. And Craig, I'm glad you mentioned Clifton Strengths. We also utilize Clifton Strengths. It's a great tool. Also, Use Science and 16 Personalities. Use Science in particular allows students to identify their strengths and weaknesses and which career paths might align best with those aptitudes. So we're also utilizing Handshake even for our grad programs here at KSU. And there are some really cool AI tools built into Handshake now that can kind of help students identify which job opportunities might be the best fit for them. And we also offer a LinkedIn workshops to help people become pro level users of LinkedIn, and then also how to maximize the free version.
Absolutely. Thank you. Craig, were there any other tools or assessments that you didn't mention earlier?
Yeah, yep, absolutely. In addition to Clifton Strengths, we also use an assessment called Career Leader. So those individuals that want to opt into a little bit more of a business focused type of assessment to Career Leader is that it's based upon 33 careers in business, identifies their interests, their motivators, and their career success profile, which is great. Other kind of job search opportunities too. We are a 1220 user, so they'll have access to 1220 and all of the jobs that appear on 1220, the resource library that appears on 1220, the salary database that's in 1220, in addition to the interview question database as well. For jobs in particular, we also use MBA Exchange, and so they have access to MBA Exchange, which provides them opportunities and in particular leadership development programs that a lot of major Fortune 100, Fortune 500 companies offer. So they have access to reviewing those job descriptions and what those leadership development programs are all about. And then the last resource is we do use VMOC for resume assessment, LinkedIn profile assessment, and interview assessment too as well. So those are some of the resources that we use here.
Great, thanks. And Stephen, what about at Mays?
Yeah, similar to what my colleagues have said. In addition, we use at the program level the Berkman assessment as well as the strengths assessment. Specific at the career, we also use Career Leader and we use the 16 personalities assessments. And then our career coach is given this information, and we've got a couple of exercises that our career coach goes through with the students to help them understand how to use them through some job description exercises and some other areas where they begin to go through kind of what's going to be right for them. As Craig mentioned, 1220, when they have access to that for job exploration, salary information, interview questions, MBA Exchange, Management Consulted, and some of those other resources are ones that our students then can get access to begin exploring if through working with their coach, those particular channels are areas that seem interesting to them beyond kind of the initial tire kicking exercise.
Absolutely. Thank you all. This is going to be a surprise to no one about, how kind of quickly that business landscape is now evolving and, making sure that students are kind of keeping up with that. Greg, can you tell us a little bit about what kind of skills your program is emphasizing, to help students keep up with that evolution, particularly in global business education, and how are you teaching those soft skills and the technical skills that the students will need now?
No, absolutely. Yeah. So I'll start with the technical skills. I think when you look at the changing landscape of the world at work, a lot has to do with business analytics and AI, artificial intelligence. And so our students will have an opportunity to get involved in some business analytics and AI classes. University of Florida has a partnership with NVIDIA. We have the world's biggest supercomputer here at UF, and there's some opportunities to get involved with business analytics, data analytics, and AI. And from a technical perspective too, The MBA program will offer certifications in Excel and certifications in Six Sigma while they're in the program. Gives them you get an idea of some of the additional offerings that the UF MBA program will provide too as well. From a soft skill perspective, we do business improv, which is an interesting kind of workshop in terms of, and we have an independent group that comes in and does business improv. It's all about reacting, adapting, and communicating in the business environment, and from an improv perspective, as well as storytelling for influence and communication. So those are some of the soft skills and hard skills that we use.
Oh, very interesting. Stephen, how about at Mays?
Yeah, so from a technical perspective, there's many challenges to launching a program, but one of the benefits is you start with a blank sheet of paper and understanding kind of where the world is headed and some of the more progressive things that are needed. We're able to embed them through, the traditional MBA material, but it comes with a heavy analytics focus and things that are more forward-looking. And so that was built into the program from a technical skill. And so from the ground up, we designed it with the future in mind, and we'll keep evolving it that way. From a soft skill point of view, embedding the career curriculum into the career component into the curriculum was an important part. And I worked closely with the program director to get time on the calendar and to get it put into the curriculum. And so things, like I said, personal branding, impact, storytelling, and advocacy and influence were things that we wanted to bring into the careers part so that they would be well prepared beyond just the technical side. In addition to that, in the program, throughout the curriculum, there's reasonable focus in each course on leadership and executive presence, global mindset, ethical decision-making, effective written and oral communications. And then one thing that the program director did, which I thought was really cool, is they created a course at the end, which is specifically preparing the students to, one, represent the Aggie brand well as they transition out into the professional workforce inside what I call a VUCA environment. So one that prepares them for the volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity, but do that with the Aggie core values embedded into it. And that's yet to launch, but it's been a blast to get to work to design what that course looks like, and looking forward to see how that rolls out.
Yeah, very interesting. It must be fun to just have a whole program to play with right from the start. Renee, tell me about the technical and soft skills at Coles.
Sure. So from the technical perspective, since the curriculum has evolved for a couple of decades here, we have an opportunity to almost reinvent. And we actually just had a workshop a few weeks ago where all of the faculty and staff and deans gathered, and we talked about how to incorporate digital tools and artificial intelligence into our existing curriculum, and how do we ask the questions that MBAs are going to be asked when they go back to the office. We want our students to be workforce ready, and we want them to be learning the modern skills so that they can just add value to their employer immediately. I think on the soft skills side, problem solving and leadership are probably the two major strengths of our program. And I also wanted to mention, we have 14 clubs here at Coles, and our online MBA students are eligible to join any of those clubs. And a couple of examples are Women in Tech and the Business Analytics Club, very popular. And it's a great way for our online students to kind of, join in person, and also to enhance their own networking. And in addition, it hasn't come up yet, but in this conversation, but I did want to also mention our online MBA students will graduate with the exact same diploma as our on-campus MBA students. And I think that is, I'm not sure if it's necessarily as unique as I think it is, but I think it's a nice value for our students. It's always a question that we get in our info sessions.
Yeah, I think that for, the longest time, students are, we're a little wary of will the online MBA be as strong as a signal and I think that is changing, but that is a great distinction to mention. Stephen, I know that you just started your program, but you have those other MBAs that you were talking about. So what do you think that employers most appreciate about a Mays MBA?
I've mentioned it a couple times now. I'll go back to it, and it's something that we do hear regularly from employers. And I'll go back to what I call the Aggie core values and what the school calls the Aggie core values: respect, excellence, leadership, loyalty, integrity, and selfless service. And that manifests itself in a way where we hear regularly from the employers that they're constructively collaborative. And so, they have the teamwork skills. They are able to effectively work across borders, geographical as well as other borders, in a way that produces value for the organizations. But they come with the strong foundational technical skills that are both, normal for MBA programs, but some of the ones that are more progressive and new in the world. And so we anticipate that the same will be said about our online MBA graduates. I'll tell you in a few months.
Yeah, absolutely. As long as it's good, correct?
As long as it's good, only the good stuff.
Renee, how about the Coles MBA? What do employers appreciate about them?
Sure. So our employers, the feedback we receive is that our students, once they graduate, or even if they make a transition during the program, which, about 50% of them do before they even graduate, is that they're able to hit the ground running. Our demographic is typically 50% first generation, and we do see most of our students have already come in with, quite a lot of work experience, even throughout undergrad. So, our mascot here is called Scrappy, and we actually are very proud of Scrappy the owl. And we believe that represents KSU very well. But also, I think the communication skills. We really pride ourselves on that. We have a lot of public speaking opportunities for our students. We will frequently invite alum back to speak to others, and whether it's virtual or in person. And the communication skills is really where our students stand out.
Great. And Craig, what about the Warrington MBA?
Yes, I think within our program, it's highly collaborative, right? You think in an online program, sometimes you're just staring at a screen or watching a lecture, and that's it. But within our particular program, there's a lot of group work, a lot of collaboration, and so you are going to definitely be meeting your students, not only during those class lectures or scheduled class lectures, but obviously the assignments that you're doing. A lot of group work. So not only are you working on your collaborative skills, but you're also networking with your fellow students at the same time. So heavy collaboration in the program, which is great because you're going to build your network. You're building your bench of people that you can call upon for the rest of your life, right? And so that's important. Here in Florida, we also attract a diverse population of students, right? And so, we have students from all over the world, all over the U.S. In our online program. So it's a really great opportunity to meet people that aren't like you, and work with them, collaborate with them, and study with them, et cetera. So that's a big thing. And then the other thing I would say is what we call the next day impact, right? What you learn inside the classroom, what we're hearing from employers is that they're able to put it into play that next day that they're at work, right? And so the employers are really telling us that what they're learning inside the classroom, they're impacting their world at work the next day. So employers, for us, it's employers, it's collaboration, it's a diverse classroom, as well as that next day impact.
Yeah, that's kind of where the rubber meets the road for an online MBA for sure.
Yeah.
And Renee, let's go then to the alumni network, which is like such a big part of what an MBA student wants to buy into a little bit, all those connections. How are they able to engage with the alumni network, even during and after the program?
Sure. So great question. The KSU Alumni Network is over 120,000 and growing, and thousands of those who are MBA alum. We have found over the years that a very easy way to keep our MBA alum connected is through a LinkedIn private group. As as is common with MBAs, they're kind of movers and shakers, and they're moving companies, roles, and it's maintaining, and we do maintain an alumni database, but it is sometimes more in real time to connect people via LinkedIn, because it's typically the first thing that people will want to do is update that profile. So we found it a great way to keep our alumni engaged. Our alum are now posting job opportunities in that group, offering to mentor current students or even other alum who are looking to advance or are interested in perhaps a position at their company. And then, perhaps even talk a little bit about the company culture. So we found that to be a really great referral source. And we also have several in-person events here. Atlanta is a very social city, and we will invite our alum to come out. And we actually just had an event on campus last week called Five in Flight, where we were honoring some of our kind of standout alumni and just some of the amazing accomplishments that they've done. And giving back to the community is really part of our core values. And so we take it seriously. Many of our students are local, and they just returned back to their local community to give back and to also lead. And so we see it a great opportunity to kind of enhance the fabric of the community through our alumni network as well.
Absolutely. Greg, brag a little bit about the alumni network at Warrington.
No, absolutely. And when you think about career, whether it be a pivot or a job search or internal promotion, one of the first 2 or 3 things that we're automatically thinking about is how can we connect this student with an alum for informational interviews, or to build their bench of contacts, or to champion their resumes internally or at organizations that they're looking for. So it's very much in our fabric here in Career Services to connect our online MBA students to alum across the world. Obviously, LinkedIn is a huge tool for that we're on a lot during the day, trying to connect students. So we certainly use that as a tool. We're about to launch also something called Network Warrington, which is actually powered by Graduate, and it's an online platform that basically connects students and alumni together. It's an opt-in program, and so current students can go on the platform, do a query of the type of alum that they want to connect with, and they'll connect with them, and they'll schedule coffee chats or informational interviews. And so all the alums that are on Graduate are those alums that want to give back to the university, to Warrington in some way, shape, or form. So they're excited to have conversations with current students and help them during their MBA journey here. So we're really excited about that. And then any in-market events that we have here in Florida, or if we're at national career fairs, we'll definitely host networking events through our office, through the MBA office, as well as our development office. Anytime we're in a market, we're hosting some type of alumni event. So if there's an online student that is in Houston or Dallas or New York, and we're present, they can always attend those as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And Stephen, how about that, pretty, what I would think is a pretty big network at Mays as well?
Yeah, so Texas A&M, the alumni network is recognized as about 500,000 plus. And beyond the size of it, it's also regularly recognized as one of the most connected and engaged and active alumni groups in the country. So we're blessed to have all of the pioneers ahead of us that have built in and built that network and have created the connection to the university that make them want to give back so much. From a careers point of view, it's one of the first things, even before the careers. From the program point of view, from the first time we connect with students, one of the questions we get and one of the things we promote is the quality and the availability of that Aggie network. And it's a big reason that a lot of the students focus on A&M and look at that as helping them in their outcomes. From a career point of view, we coach engagement from day one. And engagement, warm connections. You are now part of the Aggie network if you weren't as an undergraduate before. And leveraging that connection and building and using that as a warm connection, going out to reach and connect with people is super important. Where we can, we actively connect and refer and introduce students to alums that have come forward and said, I want to help and I want to mentor and I want to sponsor and I want to be part of the student experience. And so we do that actively. Beyond the career side, the program has built in monthly lunch and learns, and industry talks are embedded into many of the curriculum. And so many of the former students will come back and do the lunch and learns, talking about a functional area, talking about an industry area. And it's an easy way for the students then to begin connecting with that group of alumni. And then we host annual events also. So we have, football is big in the South. And so we have an annual tailgate where we have hundreds of students come back and participate in that. And then we do an annual holiday party, and that is a recognized tradition. And we'll get a couple of hundred former students that come back to that. And these are really, I've watched them play out in real time, and it's just beautiful to watch the connections happen, watch the former students give back to the current students, and the current students the lights go off on them, and it triggers them to be the kind of alumni that they are seeking out. And so it's a spiral upward and a self-fulfilling kind of mechanism.
Yeah, very nice. So Greg, switching gears a little bit, I think that, a lot of time MBAs are maybe more focused on that specific job, the pivot they want to make, the industry they're targeting, rather than maybe kind of that personal leader they want to develop into and how a business school can help with that. Can you kind of offer some advice on how students, online students at Warrington should maybe approach that journey and what business school can provide in that regard?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think, when I hear this question, I think about this mindset of executive education, right? You're going to get a great academic experience in our program. You're going to get a great experience socially with your students and your peers. You'll get a great career experience while you're in the program too as well. But to your point, like what's next, right? And I think the advice I have is take that executive education mindset to the program, to your career, so that you can start to become an active participant in LinkedIn Learning, Coursera, HBS Online, to get those professional development workshops that aren't necessarily offered through that particular program, right? And I think that that if you become a continuous learner during and even after your MBA program, you will continue to grow your career towards the leadership position that you ultimately want to obtain. So it's really a continuous learning mindset, that executive ed type of mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. Stephen, same question to you. Kind of what advice for those students on what a business school can provide in that more, personal leadership kind of journey?
Yeah. No, I love this question, and I love to work with students on this dimension. But it's also one of the more challenging areas I find. Many students come in very set on where they're headed and what they want to do, just as the question poses. What I try and do, and what our team tries to do, is educate the students that this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, and it's super powerful time to reflect and to explore options. We try and help the students early on, before they've actually realized the transformation, that they're going to develop and transform in ways that they can't even imagine. And that developing and transforming is going to open doors and create new areas of interest for them. And so use this once in a lifetime opportunity, help us help you know that what's ahead is beyond your ability to comprehend for most of them, and take advantage of that. A foundational part of the Mays Online MBA is a student's career education and coaching experience in brand awareness and development across a variety of settings of that brand. So both at their professional and their personal and their community, and then how to deliver that brand. And practicing and being aware of that is going to help them potentially see opportunities again that they may not recognize. And so creating that scenario of a greater world ahead that maybe their blinders have not allowed them to see, usually creates some curiosity and creates some engagement. that we're excited to see the students. Sometimes they go back to what they decided at the beginning of the program, which is fine, as long as they've exercised the experience of going out and looking. And that tends to work pretty well for us.
Absolutely. And Renee, how about at Kohl's?
Sure. So our online MBA students meet in person actually for a weekend orientation at the beginning of the program, where they are assigned teams and they meet their team members. During that weekend, they also are led through a DISC assessment, and they'll come up with a individual team charter. But this is the only time that they are required to be in person. The rest of the program is all online. And so it's a great opportunity for the team members themselves to learn more about themselves through that DISC assessment and personality assessment, and then how they relate to others, and maybe uncover perhaps some blind spots from themselves, which will only help them in their careers. And this is an opportunity for them to help find their voice and their leadership style. So as we mentioned kind of at the top of this interview, that we have some students who only have 2 years of experience up through very experienced or mid-career. And so we do pair people together in teams of various experience levels so they can learn from one another. And they'll be on that team throughout the entire 5 semesters, and it's lockstep. So they'll go through the 5 semesters and then see each other again, hopefully in person at graduation. But I did want to also mention, I agree wholeheartedly with Craig. The ability to stay open and to learn new things is just a skill that never goes out of style, especially in today's fast-paced and ever-changing business landscape.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I wanted to give you each guys an opportunity to maybe kind of give us your closing thoughts on, why prospective students might want to give your program another look, and the best way for them to reach out if they want more information. And Stephen, let's just start with you.
Yeah, so like I said, we're a relatively new program. We have designed it from the ground up, looking at kind of the history of online MBA programs. It was built with kind of the best of what our portfolio of programs has brought together. And so we feel that nature of it makes it progressive and kind of current in the market. That combined with the super large alumni network, the former student network, and the embedded career component, we think make a very compelling case for the Mays Online MBA program. To find out more about it, you can look at the Mays Online Flex Online MBA program online and collect information, and visit one of our virtual information sessions to get more details about the curriculum, the application, the process, and really begin the process to get started with it.
Fantastic. Thank you. Renee.
Thank you. Well, before I forget, our website is ksumba.com. It's very simple. That'll take you right to the KSU MBA page. I think the future of online MBA is very interesting. The demand is definitely there. We've actually enrolled the largest cohort this fall in program history, and even among the evening program, we're seeing the leads, so to speak, come in 2 to 1. So the demand is certainly there. But the interesting thing is that most of these prospective MBAs are actually from the Georgia metro, Atlanta metro area. So even though they want to come online, they're not that far away. I mean, we do see students coming from Tennessee and North Carolina, and even some from North Florida as well, and Alabama. But we do see a regional footprint. So I think the future may be a little bit more, continue to be more of that. But certainly, I think that the power of business analytics is just revealed that having an MBA is so versatile for job seekers. They can check that box, MBA preferred, on every job application that they go for, and it just keeps going. And we take it very seriously. We have an obligation to our alumni and to future MBAs to keep the MBA relevant. And so I think the future is hopefully more of that from all MBA programs, but certainly here at KSU. And thanks again for the opportunity to be here today.
Thank you so much. And Greg,
Mhm.
last word to you.
Absolutely. So our website, warrington.ufl.edu, you can certainly find more information about that. And, the UF MBA program was one of the first programs to go online 30 plus years ago. And so we know online education really, really well. And just it's a kind of an indication of why we're ranked 6th in the country by US News World Report for our online program. And so your experience, your online experience that you'll get from a UF MBA is excellent. They partner with our instructional design team to offer some really great structure of online classes, and the platform you'll really enjoy. And I think for us, it's that personalized approach to all things career, all things UF MBA academics, and overall, it's a great experience for the students.
Thank you so much. And thanks to each of you for, spending some minutes with us and offering your great expertise. And thanks to all the viewers who turned in. And be sure to watch all our other panel sessions throughout the rest of the day and tomorrow from other top business schools for career advice and students' perspectives. And always be sure to go to poetsandquants.com for other in-depth articles and rankings on online MBA programs. So until next time, thank you very much.